वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां गुरवे भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वन्दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्गुरो जगदितं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महा योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो भूतयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात्करणाद् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाच्छिद्रघटोदरस्थितमः दीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुराधिकरणद्वारा बहिस्फन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभात्येतत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमा त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता भृशं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमः व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशः मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्स्यमिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्ता अनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोतु भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वा य एष पुरुषः माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो निलोऽम्बरमहर्नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यः किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतात् यस्मात् परस्माद् विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यात् ईश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्धेत्तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतञ्च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहृतम् वटविटविसमीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते साधनचतुष्टयसम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किं नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः नित्यवस्त्वैकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वमनित्यम् अयमेव नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः विरागः कः इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यं शमादिसाधनसम्पत्तिः का शमोदम उपरमस्तितीक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं चेति शमः कः मनोनिग्रहः दमः कः चक्षुरादिबाह्येन्द्रियनिग्रहः उपरमः कः स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव तितीक्षा का शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वं श्रद्धा कीदृशी गुरुवेदान्तवाक्यादिषु विश्वासश्रद्धः समाधानं किं चित्तैकाग्रता मुमुक्षुत्वं किं मोक्षो मे भूयादिति इच्छा एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम् ततस्तत्त्वविवेकस्य अधिकारिणो भवन्ति तत्त्वविवेकः कः. Okay. So in the last class we started with Tattwabodha, and after the first shloka, which is the Mangala shloka, after that slowly it moved into what is the purpose of this text, for whom is this text, how it will be beneficial. So very clearly all the required information the author has very nicely put in the first two shlokas and condensedly given, so that after the shloka you can decide whether you want to continue or not. So it is very clear that it is for whom? Mumukshunam hitarthaya tattwabodho vidiyate. One who is interested in moksha. If you say I don't want moksha, you can decide to jump out of the class, no problem. But if you say let me at least understand what moksha is, then I will decide. Even for that you need to sit in the class. Okay. So mumukshunam hitarthaya. How will I teach? It is for people who have got sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari. One who is completely endowed with one particular sampatti, which is called sadhana chatushtaya. What is sadhana chatushtaya? That obviously is the next question which the student will have. So he says, I will teach you the method how to do the enquiry so that you will understand how to learn the right way of understanding what Brahman, what moksha is, and your purpose of this human life will be completed. Okay? That means someone needs an eligibility. Yes, everything needs an eligibility. Right from when we are born. Tell me who can take birth. The eligibility criteria is if you are at least 6 months old in the stomach of your mummy. Before that, can you come out? No. Even if you come out, you can't be kept in the incubator. Correct? So the eligibility criteria starts from your birth. Right across this eligibility criteria is there in your schooling, getting admission. Then after your 10th standard, there is eligibility criteria. Then after that you go, you complete your whatever graduation. Again, post-graduation, for everything there is an entrance exam, there is an eligibility criteria. People cannot just walk in and you will be given. No. You need to qualify certain things and then for that you prepare. So you put an effort, you prepare for it, then become eligible, then you enter into it. After entering, again to pass out there is an eligibility criteria. You write the exam, you get the results, then you go out. Then next eligibility criteria is when you want to go for a job, there is an interview and many things which are there. Again eligibility. After that, another very big area in our life, marriage. How many eligibility criteria? Need to be fair, need to be dark, need to be strong, need to be long, need to be short, need to have handsome salary. How many eligibility criteria? Correct? Life is full of eligibility criteria. After that again you go for an interview for what? बच्चे का स्कूल के लिए इंटरव्यू. Again eligibility criteria of the parents. Think. And it continues. It continues. Only one thing doesn't have an eligibility criteria. And for that you have already fulfilled that eligibility criteria. Do you know what?
Death.
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 You have already got that eligibility criteria because you are born. Everything else in life has got an eligibility criteria. Think about it. And unless you fulfill it, and when you have a criteria, you will have few people who are already passing, few people who will not pass. Then obviously there are going to be segregation of people. So automatically in this world, this taratamyam or differences will be there. If you say equality should be there in everything, equality to a certain thing, giving an opportunity is where you can look at equality. But individually people, ability to comply with eligibility is going to be different. Correct? Whatever this thumb can do, the other fingers cannot do. Whatever this little finger can do, that the thumb cannot do. So each one has its own, that taratamyam is there in our body, is there in this world. You cannot say no to it. Correct? So we have to be oblivious of the fact that it is there first. We have to be very, very sure that it is there. But I will not get too much disturbed about it. Don't get pulled on by all the news channels when they start making such news. Isne aisa kiya? All these are just, these things will be there in the world. Correct? Come back. So eligibility criteria is a very important thing even to come to Vedanta. Right? And what is this eligibility criteria? The author now opens out and says that sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. What is sadhana? Sadhana means that which is going to help me. साधन, इसके साधन, इस साधन के साथ मैं ये करने वाला हूँ. That instrument, that thing which I have earned, which I am going to utilize it for my moksha. Okay, 4 things are there. So obviously what is the question is, what are these 4 things? Sadhana chatushtayam kim? And here the Acharya now explains, Nitya vastu vivekaha. Okay. And normally we all know, especially if you have a, don't take it otherwise, but just as an example I am telling. People from south, especially from Andhra, will have a very long name. Correct? Such a long name, you will have 3-4 names together and afterwards a surname. So then what do you call? KVS Murthy. Now if you expand KVS, it will be very long. Correct? Like that, the name called Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, such a big defined name. It is not just Vivekaha. Knowledge of Nitya Vastu, Anitya Vastu, that wisdom is called Vivekaha. So we call it short form Vivekaha. The full name is Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, but short form is Vivekaha. Okay, Krishna Deva, KVS Murthy, full name. Every time you can't be telling. So easiest way is KVS Murthy, come here. Same way Vivekaha. Is Viveka there? But Viveka should mean what? Not any Viveka. Not wisdom about anything. Not wisdom of shares. Not wisdom of how to grow my property. No. That wisdom we are not talking. Nitya Vastu, Anitya Vastu, Vivekaha is what this Viveka is talked about. Okay. Now, then comes the second thing. Another one big name. Ihamutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha. What is the short form of that? Vairagya. For such a big name, we give a short form. We call it Vairagya. So first is Vivekaha, second is Vairagya. What is Vairagya? Iha amutra artha phala bhoga. That means Iha phala, that karma phala which I will get in this janma, Amutra phala, after this janma, whatever I get, if I am ready to just leave it, that is called vairagya. Okay, we will see in detail. Don't worry. Here he is only introducing the name. So the name he has given as Ihamutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha, which our short form is Vairagya. The first name is Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, short form is Viveka. So Viveka Vairagya. Okay, then comes the third one, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. Shamadhi Shatka. So the word Adi Pada, the word Adi means etc. Shamadhi means Shama etc. So Shama plus 5 more things. Totally 6. Shatka means 6. Sampatti is my belonging. ये मेरा संपत्ति है, धरोहर. So I need to have 6 things which belongs to me. That is a requirement. This is a need. This is an eligibility criteria. I need to have viveka. I need to have vairagya. I need to have shamadhi shatka sampatti. And the fourth one is mumukshutvam. The fourth one is called mumukshutvam. That is, we will explain. Each of this will be taken. Don't worry. So now, first he said you need to have 4 eligibility criterias. Then he gives the name of the 4 eligibility criterias, which are Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, Ihamutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha, Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam. Names are given. And we have short form as Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam. And in English, we call it as D, 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 D. 4 Ds. Easy to remember. You can write down 4 Ds. The first one, Viveka, is called discrimination. The first D is discrimination. Ability to discriminate what is Nitya and Anitya. Correct? And this ability to discriminate is what we call in our language as wisdom. If you are able to discriminate every time properly, you are called a wise person. Then the second one is dispassion. Correct? The second one is called dispassion. The desire which should not work. The dispassion. Correct? So the second D. First D is discrimination. Vivekaha equal to discrimination. Vairagya equal to dispassion. Second D. Third one is Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi is discipline. So I need to have 6 disciplines with me. Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi equal to discipline. The third one is discipline. Okay. And the fourth one is mumukshutvam. Here we call mumukshutvam as desire. Desire for getting freedom. Desire for moksha. Okay. Do not interchange and write. Do not write the second one as desire and the fourth one as dispassion. You understand what will happen then? Dispassion from moksha and desire for all the benefits. Exactly ulta ho jayega. So that will make you anadhikari, ineligible and not adhikari. So write it properly. 4 Ds are discrimination, dispassion, discipline, desire. D, 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 D. Simple to remember. Okay. The first question in the next test will be, what are the 4 Ds? By heart kar lene ka. Correct? Because at least if we are not by hearting the whole text, these key things we cannot forget. Because if we forget it, it will not be available for us to do anything, right? The knowledge which is not available to do, What is the use of that knowledge? I learned quantum physics in my 11th, 12th and first year. After that, over. I have never touched it. What is the use of that knowledge? No use. So that knowledge which is useful, which means there is a practical utility. So which means if you are learning it, you will have to start practicing it. If you start practicing it, for that you have to remember it. If you have to remember it, you have to by heart this. If you can by heart, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, Iha Mutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha, Samadhi Shatka Sampattiki, Mumukshutvam, fantastic. Because then it also gives a meaning. But if you can't by heart it that way, at least by heart 4 Ds: discrimination, dispassion, discipline and desire. Okay, good. Now he is going to elaborate each of this what it is. So what is the first one? He is going to ask the next question, obviously comes Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Kaha. And we have seen this already. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Did I explain this last time? Correct? I told you about the screen and the movie, if you remember. Correct. So, Nitya Vastu is, there is only one Nitya Vastu in this whole universe, galaxy, whatever you want to imagine. And that is called, we will give it one name and let us call it Brahman. Okay. While writing, you write it as Brahman. Ending should be A-N, not Brahmin. Brahman. Okay. In Sanskrit, there are 2 words. One is called Brahma, other is called Brahman. Brahma is Pullinga or masculine and Brahman is neuter gender. When we say Brahma, it means Brahmaji, Mr. Saraswati. Mr. Saraswati, 4-headed person is called Brahmaji, that is called Brahma, masculine in nature. Correct? Then we have another thing which is called an material, Brahman, which is neuter gender. Okay, Brahman. And that is called, that is what is mentioned here. Now we don't know what it is, right? But understand it, that is that only independent Vastu which can be by itself. The rest, everything are dependent on it. That is the only independent thing in this universe, and rest everything is dependent on it. What it is, we will see later. First, if we have to refer to something, we have to give it a name. One namakaran should be there. So we will call that thing as Brahman. We will see what is Brahman later. But one of the attributes given is that is the only thing which is independently it can exist. The rest, everything, sun, moon, stars, galaxy, whatever you want to imagine, everything depends on this thing. That is why the author says Ekam Brahma, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. This word Brahman, Nakaranta, Napumsika Lingaha, Brahman Shabdaha, in Sanskrit, for people in Sanskrit, you know the declensions will go as Brahma. The Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam is Brahma. Don't confuse that to be Brahmaji. Okay, that Brahmaha Shabdaha, is like Deva Shabdaha. Brahmaha, Brahmo, Brahma. Here it is Brahman, Nakaranta Shabdaha, but still is called as Brahma at many places. But it means that this is that independent Vastu. That means even Brahmaji is not independent. Huh? That Mr. Saraswati, Brahmaji is also dependent on Brahman. Do we understand this? I am only giving you a background of Nitya Vastu and Anitya Vastu. It is like saying that if I see a horror movie or if I see movie called Adi Shankaracharya, both have to be telecasted on a screen. If it's a horror movie, still it needs a screen, which is Asura. Or if it is Deva, still will need a screen. And for both, there is only one screen, which is called Brahman. Are we clear? Don't get confused about Brahma and Brahman. Brahmaji is, it will come. Brahmaji will also come. Mr. Saraswati, there we will specially tell it as Mr. Saraswati. Otherwise, whenever we are using this word Brahman, it is better to write in English called Brahman. And don't, please, for God's sake, don't write Brahmin. It is not Brahmin, it is Brahman. Okay, we have to slowly learn to say these words properly. Then these words have got its own meaning. Right? Good. So, Nitya Nitya Vastu Kaha, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. There is only one Brahman which is Nitya Vastu. Tad Vyatiriktam, apart from, the moment you say Tad, it is neuter gender. That means we are talking of something which is a neuter gender. There is one material. Let us consider it to be a material. That material we will call it Brahman. The rest everything are all dependent on this material. What are you defining now? We thought Brahman is something there, but now we are telling it is one item. चलो एक item पकड़ के आगे जाते, then we will understand what that item is. Right? ठीक है. Then the next question comes. Okay, sorry, he mentions Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Having that knowledge to discriminate what is Brahman and what is other than Brahman in this world, this knowledge alone is called Vivekaha. Are we clear? It is properly defined now. What is Vivekaha? Knowing Brahman and able to discriminate Brahman from everything else separately is called Vivekaha. To having the knowledge that behind every movie there is a screen and ability to discriminate the screen from the movie is called Vivekaha. Based on our example. Now don't go to the multiplex and say that, oh, I can see the screen and I can see the movie, so I understood Brahman. No. Don't make such a mistake. There is an example. Clear? Okay. So slowly we are trying to understand. So this is called unfolding. Our Shastras beautifully unfold it slowly, dhire dhire. You know, when you get a gift wrapper, gift box, you slowly untie it. Then dhire se khologe. And then you will see, oh, it is packed in another wrapper. Now let me open that also. Aisa karte, like the onion, you will see that there is nothing inside it. This peeling of the onion. Have you tried to peel the onion? What do you get last? That is a story which is going to be there. This Brahman is that center of that onion which we are now going to peel. Okay, I already removed out the climax. Chalega. At least by that you will try to know what am I trying to do now. Because this is not going to be now, understanding Brahman is not going to be very easy. Okay, but at least I should know that there is only one thing which is independent, which is Brahman. The rest, everything are dependent on Brahman. Clear? Chalo. If you have that ability to discriminate, then we can say that you have the eligibility called Vivekaha. Clear? Chalo. Now let's go to the next one, which is called Viraga Kaha. What is this thing you are told Viraga? I don't understand. You said Iha Mutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha, like that big name. I will call it Viragaha. Now you tell me, explain to me what it is. Then he says, Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Icha Rahityam. Iha bhuloke, swargaloke. In this bhuloka, in and after death at the swargaloka, correct? Bhogeshu ichha. You know what is bhoga?
Enjoyment.
Yeah, we normally have two roles. I will talk about the third role later on. Whenever we are in transaction in the world, we normally put two hats. Either I am the karta, I am the doer, or I am the bhokta, I am the enjoyer. It may be a pleasurable enjoyment or a painful enjoyment, but still I have to go through it, I have to experience it. The experiencer is a better word than enjoyer. I experience it. Okay, so bhokta is an experiencer, correct? Iha bhokta, not to have any experience here and not to have any experience post death. Rahitya means rahita, without that experience. If I can be there, that is called vairagyam. Okay, now this needs a little explanation, because we normally say, what is vairagyam in our common parlance? सब छोड़ छाड़ के हिमालय चला जाना, भाई इसको तो वैराग्य प्राप्ति हो गया, ठीक है, इसका भी पूजा ही करना चाहिए, उसको घर का अंदर मत लेना, नहीं तो हमारा तकलीफ हो जाएगा. नो, वैराग्य डज नॉट मीन दैट. वैराग्य मीन्स maturity in our desires. Now what is maturity in our desires? Okay, we will take an example to understand this. वैराग्य does not mean running away. वैराग्य does not mean मुझे पैसे से वैराग्य है, मैं पैसे को हाथ से नहीं छूऊंगा. Put it directly onto my account. मैं पैसे को हाथ से नहीं छूऊंगा. That is not वैराग्य. Correct? That is a roga. Special roga. Vairagya is maturing yourself from the desires. And how do we mature? We will take an example. When we are 4 years old, 5 years old, we like to play with balloons. Correct? And you are playing. Now many of you all have that age child. The child plays with toys, balloons, and how possessive that child is. My toy, my balloon. By mistake that balloon breaks. It is like the heart has broken into two. And what do we as parents do? We tell, don't worry, we will buy you another one. There is only a balloon. Like a Maha Mukta person who has got moksha from balloon. This is called moksha from balloon, right? Because now our need or desire to have this balloon has already got matured. If the child says, Mama, Daddy, play with me with the balloon. When you are doing some work in the laptop, if the balloon comes and falls, you will give a hit back. It will again go back to the child. Right? So you don't mind playing with the balloon because you know the balloon cannot do anything to me. You have completely matured from the desire of possessing the balloon and playing with the balloon. That doesn't stop you. Just have a sporting event with the child. You play as a sport with the child, you enjoy it, that is Leela, you are having fun. You are actually very happy to see the possessiveness of the child with the balloon, and you are enjoying that. I am no more possessive about it. That state of not being possessive and still handling it is called Vairagya. not running away. Are we able to get this? Ability to handle it with a maturity and not get stuck with it is called Vairagya. Any doubts? Balloon is a very simple and an easy example. We are referring to all our desires, every smallest of the desire maturing out, and you say, I am not interested in it, but still I will continue to conduct my life with activities, although I don't desire. That means I will continue to put effort, I will continue to do everything. I am not interested in the result of the activity. I am already thoroughly connected in the present with the process of the activity. So when I am in the process of the activity, the moment the process is over, you are not waiting for a response of what is coming. Now when you are doing it that way, you are neither a karta nor a bhokta. Think about it. When I don't have an expectation of doing a particular karma, I am not a karta. Then the result of it doesn't matter to me, so I will never be a bhokta. When will a karma become that way that I am not a karta and I am not a bhokta? Only that karma can become that way when I am completely submitting it to the Lord. Samarpan, this work what I am doing, this karma what I am doing, it is to the lotus feet of the Lord. Then you have no expectation coming out of it. So you are neither the karta nor the bhokta. You are just passing through it. Are you able to understand this? This is a little subtle. समझ में आया तो good. नहीं समझ में आया, you can leave it out of syllabus currently. धीरे से बाद में समझ में आएगा. But to understand Vairagya, balloon example is good enough. Whenever I am going to use the balloon and play it like a sport, with in my mind that I am completely mukta, free from this balloon. If the balloon exists, good, I play with it. If the balloon doesn't exist, I am not going to cry for it. Then we call our desire for the balloon as a mature desire, and that is called Vairagya with the balloon. Only the balloon now. Now you have to replace the balloon with every other thing and slowly mature out. As age progresses, you would have matured out with many things, but at the same time you would have got bound with many more things. Getting maturity on all the things will slowly lead you to a complete Vairagya. So Vairagya is not running away. Vairagya is being very much into the system, doing with a lot of enthusiasm, but only one thing in the mind is, I am doing it for Ishvara Arpana, and whatever comes as an outcome, it is prasada of this Ishvara. When I go to Tirupati, I am expecting that I will be given a laddu. When I go to Shirdi, every person will be given a pack of laddu or udi or something. But when I go to the Shiv temple in Thane, they may give me tirtha. You can't say, "Arey, there they gave me laddu, I should get laddu here also." Whatever you get, you take it as prasada and come out. In some temples, you will get something to eat. In some places, you will get just some water. In some places, you will get some flower. In some places, you will not get anything. Everything is prasada. So you don't expect, the moment you say prasada, whatever you get, you are thankful about it. You are not judgmental about it. You are not asking anything about it. And that is prasada bhavana. When we do any karma, automatically we will start getting an inner purity by doing it. Correct? We will see that later. The more we go, we will start understanding this much clearer. But understand that The more we get into this way, then only there is maturity, because every karma has got 3 problems associated with it. Any karma you do, you will have 3 problems with it. Given, ek pe teen free. The offer given by Bhagavan is ek pe teen free. Any karma. And the first problem is called bandhakatvam. It binds you. The karma binds you with the result. Correct? So there has to be a result. I will not do it without a result. Just for doing it, will I do it? If you are doing it just for doing it, you have already got vairagya for it. If you are doing it for a result, I am studying IIT. The goal is to pass IIT. No. If I don't pass IIT, then I will commit suicide. Bandhakatvam. Do you understand bandhakatvam now? It has already bound me. Before I do also, there is a sankalpa. I am bound by the sankalpa. There is a resolution I take. Why am I doing this karma? Correct? Second problem which it gives is atriptikaratvam. Atriptikara. First time, wow, fantastic, very good. I like the result. Now that has become the benchmark. Next time I have to do better than that. So every time the benchmark will keep on changing. And every time I am working to improve on it and do my best. So atripti, I am never contented with what I am doing. This is called mental roga. Huh? Every karma will lead to a mental roga like this. Think about it. Whenever there is someone in the office who is normally very active and responsive, don't they get more jobs to be done? Why? Hey, I have proven my ability. नहीं यार ये भी कर दो, ठीक है ये भी किया, उसके बाद ये भी करो, उसके बाद ये भी करो. And every time you are going to raise the bar to prove that I am capable of doing it. At what cost? That I am not bothered, but I will do it. Why? I have risen my bar because now इज्जत का सवाल है. Do you understand? इज्जत का सवाल है. Now that becomes the basic level after a point of time. Then you will end up doing 10 people's job. Huh? And your job will go for a 6. For what you have been taken in, correct? We become very generalistic person than what you are doing. So this is what atriptikaratvam will do. The third one is dukkha mishritatvam. Every karma has got like a nicely gift wrapped something with it which is called dukkha mishritatvam. Whenever we are having an enjoyment as a karma phala, be sure that there is a problem sitting with it. Why? Whenever you want to achieve something, you have put a lot of effort that has pained you. Correct? So to acquire it, it has pained me. To maintain it, I have to take much more pains. And one day for sure it is going to leave me. If it will not leave me, I will die one day that I will leave it. Whichever time that separation is going to be there, it is going to be troublesome. Think about it. Every desire has got this embedded in it. So the moment we say I have a desire, I have 3 things with. You know how our acharyas teach this? You are married only to one wife. On the day of marriage, you get married to one lady called wife or one husband, whoever. The contract is with that person, right? The contract is with that person, yes or no? I have got married to one person. So the relationship sambandha is between this man and this lady. Yes or no? But the moment you step into the other house for ladies and for gents, the moment that lady steps into your house, you see along with it, unknowingly, there are something called as in-laws also come in. Do you understand this? Did you ask for in-laws? No. My contract is only with the person, but along with the person, what comes? Unasked in-laws. So it will be everyone, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, all the in-laws. So you have many things bound with it which is going to come along with it. Exactly like that, with one desire, you have three things. With one desire, teen saath mein package, free. 3 in-laws have already come in. Next desire, another 3 in-laws have come in. Correct? Now our problem is not only maintaining that person, I have to also maintain the in-laws. Because without that, my sambandha will get disturbed. Are you able to get that? And this is how karma works. Every karma binds us, will never make us satisfied, and will always give us pain. So let me not do karma at all. Buddhu, no option. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells clearly, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krut. That is, there is not even a second when you are not doing any karma. Even when you are nicely sleeping, there are sound in the stomach, gur, bur, gur, bur, digestion is going on. Karma is going on. Yes or no? Every moment karma is going on. The karma stops only when you die. So running away from karma, not an option. Then doing the karma, only option. If I do it, I have a problem. Because ek ke saath teen free. Now what do I do? That is where our Acharya says, whenever you want to cut a jackfruit, what you need to do? See, all are so wise now. Pahila tel lagao अच्छा से. अच्छा से tel lagao. It should not stick. Karma bandha. It is called ishati. It will just stick without you knowing. And you try to remove it. ये हाथ से निकालने को गया, ये छोड़ के ये भी चिपका, भी दोनों मिलके टग ऑफ वॉर चालू. समझ में आ रहा है? Karma will work that way. So if you have to come out of karma, you need one oil, and that is called Ishvara oil. Once you apply the Ishvara oil and do, everything will go, and Bhagavan has no problem. All your karma he will take. Along with that, if thousands of in-laws come also, he has no problem. He can manage it. When he could marry 16,000 people, how many in-laws he could have managed? Think about it. Krishna married 16,000, right? So what a capability to manage. One lady or one husband to manage itself is a problem. Apart from that, Maha Musibat is in-laws. Now if Bhagavan can marry 16,000 and manage all the in-laws, he is a great person. So put all your karma to him, he will easily manage it. Why? पहला से ही तेल लगा के बैठा है भगवान ने. तुम कितना भी डालो, it will just slip and go. It will not touch him also. Are you able to get that? How to get vairagya? तेल लगा के काम करो. ईश्वरा oil apply and start doing the work, by which it will not stick to you, and when it goes and falls, the result will fall at God's feet only. कितना अच्छा आइडिया दे दिया है देखो. वैराग्य इज दैट द मोमेंट आई डू एवरीथिंग विथ ईश्वरार्पण बुद्धि and prasada bhavana of Ishvara, on the result, automatically vairagya has come. That means I have become more flexible to accept the setup. I don't get upset with the setup. Do you understand this? Ulta of setup is upset. So I will not get upset because of the setup. Every time when there is a trouble given to me, I will wink at Bhagavan and say, I know this. You have given this to me so that I apply the oil properly. I will apply the oil properly so that it will come back to you. I will not fall in your trap. Because he is karma phala data. Ishvara is karma phala data. He is going to give you your prarabdha. You can't run away from it. So wink back on it and say, I am giving it back to you only. Thank you very much. Return gift ke saath. With interest I give it back to you. Bhagavan, Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. समझ में आ रहा है? That is why in the last we give Sir Vishnu Arpan Kaye Navacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai. Then what?
Narayanaeti samarpayami.
Give it. Not lip service. Narayanaeti samarpayami. Immediately the eye is on the prasad. अभी इसके बाद क्या मिलने वाला है? When you say samarpayami, you have to give it off. Our Acharya says another one beautiful thing. You know, especially North Indians, they have this Jai Jagadish Hare. Correct? Aarti hai na? So they will sing Dhan Man Tan Sab Kuch Tera. Tera Tujhko Hi Arpan. Yes or no? Correct? So first day I have told Dhan Man Tan Sab Kuch Tera. Tera Tujhko Hi Arpan. Second day again I am standing and telling Dhan Man Tan Sab Kuch Tera. Tera Tujhko Hi Arpan. Like that for years together I am doing. What does that mean? Every day I am fooling Bhagavan. Just showing that and again taking it back. That will not work. When you say Dhan Man Tan Sab Kuch Tera, Tera Tujhko Hi Arpan, you handle it like how you know? You handle it like a tenant in a house. The ownership belongs to someone, but my responsibility is to clean the house, take care of the house, but the ownership is not mine. Then you are actually working as Dhan Man Tan Sab Kuch Tera. Tera Tujhko Hi Arpan. But I continue to do my karma because I have now applied this oil of Ishvara Arpan. Are we able to get this concept of Vairagya clearly now? Don't ever imagine running away is called Vairagya. Bhag jana, sannyas lena, ye Vairagya nahi hai. And that is what Krishna tells Arjuna clearly in Bhagavad Gita, don't run away. Because Arjuna says, I want to run away. I can't fight. I want to run away. He says, don't run away. Wherever you will go, see if you are here, it is good. At least Dharma Yuddha will happen. If you go to the jungle, you will start cutting trees left, right and center because that anger is going to be there. It is bad for the environment. Don't run away. Better than that, you kill 4 people here. Getting it? So, very clearly, we should understand that Vairagya is not running away. Vairagya is not accepting it and cribbing about it. Why only me? मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है. I want to die off. That is not Vairagya. Vairagya is accepting the setup the way it is and still with full enthusiasm working in the setup without any desire and being in the process and enjoying the process of doing it. Whenever a good singer sings a song, whenever a painter paints, he is not bothered how many people are going to say wah wah, shabashi to it. The best of mind should come, and that enjoyment is over once it is done. Over. The process is what you enjoy. The result is immaterial. Okay. And that is what, there will be many people, if you ask them, they will say the picture which everyone does not like it in the exhibition, that is the one which I enjoyed the most while doing it. Huh? No one likes that picture. He says one of my best creation is that, because he's thoroughly involved in that, in the process, and after that he is not bothered what the outcome is. Are we able to get this vairagya clearly? This concept of vairagya needs to be perfectly clear. Otherwise, we mistake it with our common knowledge of the word how vairagya ho gaya isko. It is actually tainted wrongly in our system. Okay. Then comes the third one. Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Okay. So, Viragah Kaha. Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Ichha Rahityam. I don't have any Ichha for Ihaloka Sukham, Paraloka Sukham. That is called Vairagya. Ihaloka Dukkham, Paraloka Dukkham. I am not running away from that. Everything is okay to me. It is only thank you note given to God. Every time a thank you note given to God. Thank you, God. You gave it to me. You at least considered that you have to give it to me. You didn't forget about me. मेरा ऊपर तुम्हारा दृष्टि था. That is why you gave it to me ना. It is only for my good. Thank you very much. That attitude is vairagya. Then third one is Shamadhi Sadhana Sampatti Ka. Shama Adi Sadhana Sampatti. What are those things? Shatka Sampatti. Okay, there are 6 Sampattis, 6 disciplines which we said. What are those? And he gives the name. Shamodama Uparama Titiksha Shraddha Samadhanam Cha Iti. Shamodama Uparamastitiksha Shraddha Samadhanam Cheti. This is how we will normally chant. Shamaha, Damaha, you can write down the names because we will explain it in the next class. Shamaha, Damaha, Uparama or Uparati, both are correct. Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Cha iti. 6 of these are called Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. I need to possess these 6 disciplines which will make me eligible for getting this Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya or Tattwabodha.
Sir, can you please repeat once again the 6
Yeah. Shamaha.
characteristics?
Shamaha. Yeah, one second.